Hey, what is up, everyone? We are doing history through video games again today. Today, we are in Assassin's Creed. We are back into the Assassin's Creed series. We are in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, so the Viking installment of this game, the most recent installment of this game. We're in York. We're on top of the York Minster. I've had the opportunity to go to this minster before, this wonderful cathedral. However, the current cathedral that is standing today in York is not the one that is modeled in this game. So, super quick overview for you on this magnificent building. It was founded back in 627. So 627 AD. This site has been a church pretty much ever since. There was, if you go into the current minster, you can actually go into what's called the undercroft. So it's the foundation, the stonework that's underneath it. You can see that's actually built on top of an old Roman fort. So when the Romans were in England, they actually had a fort in York, and this is where the minster is now built on top of that. So you can see the old Roman architecture actually underneath it. It's super cool, super great look into history if you were interested in going over there and checking that out. So the minster, the one that we have in existence today, was actually made in the 1400s. They finished it up in the 1400s, but the one that is modeled in the game that I'm actually going to be running around in is a far more primitive structure than the one that is standing currently. So I'm going to climb down off of this where I was. And all right, so we are on the main tower in the center of the minster. And you can see the game wanted to model the two bell towers there. So that still is how the current minster is. There are those two bell towers on the one side. It is still made in the traditional perpendicular design for minsters, cathedrals. The title of minster actually just hangs in as a carryover from the previous way that the church was naming churches. So it is part of the Church of England. It's not a Catholic church like our previous video on a cathedral, the Notre Dame. That one's a Catholic church. The Minster is actually part of the Church of England. So different branches within Christianity there. So the features that we have of the current York Minster don't exist in the game, but we can still explore around the site and see a little bit of what we have got in front of us. The base design of the church still does exist in that perpendicular format. You can see that the center tower is there. It runs off with these two wings. We'll go up to look. It's not gonna want us to go around that way, but we'll cheat the system a little bit here. There we go. Shortcut. So, and you can see it continues off that way. So running into the bell tower here, we'll go further down. All right, so I think that was a previous assassination I actually had in the story here. So it is a lot less open in this structure than Notre Dame was, and then the current minster actually is. So this being a far more early building style, it didn't have the flying buttresses to actually support the sidewalls and let those ceilings go way higher up. We got the noon bell going on, small town stuff here. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but so the amount of space that's within the church here is going to be a lot smaller than what currently exists. But this building has existed for 1,300 years as a site of a church now, and let me double check, almost 1,400 years. We're at 1395. So it has been in existence as a church for a long, long time. it is just a place that's near and dear to me as far as visiting. It was outstanding to actually go see. I'm going to throw in some of my photos from that trip here, and just kind of put them in as a slideshow so you can see what we go from the game version to the actual version. There's a ton of stained glass. The version that we get to run around in the game here is not nearly the same feel as the one that is currently existence in York. So this side yard, though, actually there is a similar space along the side of it. When I was there in 2018, 2019, they were redoing and trying to preserve some of the windows there. So they had a bunch of scaffolding on one side, and they were removing panes out to try to preserve some windows there. And the whole reason that they wanted to preserve the windows, they've been working on this since 2007. The Great East Window, they were pulling those out. 311 glass panes came out of that church for conservation. They completed it right around the time that I was visiting, so the scaffolding was still up. But the stained glass within the Minster is just phenomenal. It's a beautiful building, but there is so much history within it, and it does span Roman era, Norman era, and then through to the medieval era as well. So there's a lot of history just within one site that you can see at the different levels, which I think is something that is very unique. York is a wonderful town to see a lot of that history as well. There's a lot of Norse history within York, or Jorvik as it is in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So it's a fantastic spot to go check out if you guys are so inclined. It's going to be my super short overview of a place in history that we can actually visit within a video game. If you get the opportunity to go visit it in person, I highly recommend it. York as a city in and of itself is a fantastic spot to visit. Tons of history, like I said. You're not going to run out of things to do there. So if you guys like this video, let me know. Drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe if you want to do so. We're going to be jumping into other video games here and seeing what other pieces of history we can find, pulling out all those little information nuggets that hide within these games, and that it's just super fun to get into and to explore. So I'll see you guys later, and check out the next video.